Hello my friends, and welcome to my channel. So this is part 2 of my printing that I started yesterday. Watercolor, some botanicals and some paper. So this is how they look. I have ironed them, but we are going to add a little bit to them today. But I like how it turned out. A little bit of smudging and some of them really clear. And that's kind of what we are going for. This one was really nice. This have a front and a back. So I tried to add a bit of brown watercolor to give it some more warmth, and I think I got it pretty good. I was going for coffee, but there wasn't any left in my brewer, so I took watercolor. Then I added some splatters, and I think that was good. So this needs to be ironed again before we use it. And then I did another thing that can be fun for you to take as a tip. So I took this old letter, I think it's from Ruby and Pearl XO, and then I added this print. So I double printed this. I printed this on my printer first, put it back, and then printed it again with this on top of it, and then we get this beautiful print. And you can of course use your own old letters or pictures and kind of double copy it. I also did it on another one. I used one of my Ecodyeing papers and copied that first, and then I added this part on it, and then we got this. So we have the background in brown and then these dark ones in more gray bluish tone. So that's a tip, to keep printing on your papers so you get more patterns on them. And you also got some crease from the paper, and that's fun to have. So let's use one of these and add a bit of color. So on this one I think I'm going to go with a little bit of maybe turquoise and greenish tones. I think I need to have it this way. And I haven't put anything on this, not any matte medium or so, to keep the colors. They will move when I re-wet them, but not so much that I think it matters. So let's try to add something greenish, bluish, I think. I'm using some sap green and then a azure blue from Rosa. Sorry, I don't think one of my lights are blinking, but I can't see which one. So there's something with the bulb that is not right, so I will probably need to change one of them, but for now I think it will work while we're doing this. So then I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of turquoise to the leaves, turquoise greenish tone, to add a little bit more color to the leaves. And this way you can use the papers over and over again. Copy them, they are your own, so you can copy them as much as you want and make different papers with them. And that's a good way to reuse them over and over again with different colors and papers. You can blend the colors as you want them. These are just some small leaves, so I'm just doing some small marks with the color. See, it's something blinking. Oh, irritating. Need to move those bulbs and look. Try to find out which one it's. I have 4 lights here to keep the light as light as I want it. And one more over here. Something like that. And then of course if you want a background you can just add a little bit of the color you want to make it more fun. We can do that on the next one. Leave this to dry. So let's make another one. Let's go with this. Could be nice to have a background on this, I think. So what color should we go for on this one? Should we go real greenish, maybe? Take away the blue tone and go for sap green with a little bit of black in it, I think. So we get this dark greenish tone. And maybe we can wet it. See if it moves by itself. Now the brown will move, so we get a little bit darker colors. You don't need to paint all of it. You can just paint some of it to give it a tone of green. And if you don't want the colors that are already there to move, you can just dab it in like this. Then you won't drag the brown in it so much. Can get it clearer green. And that's my printer. We are getting disturbed today. I always do like this when I have used it, and I always forgot about to turn it off. So should we put some bluish, more clear bluish behind it? Just blending some more ordinary blue. So I'm thinking I will splatter and spritz, so it can move a little bit. Depending on how much you want. In the background. You can of course paint all of it. And go in between the leaves. But I like this kind of watercolor feeling, that it's loosely done. But now you can see that it's moving, and it's getting this nice blend. The green and the blue is blending together like it's meant to be. I like that. A little bit more of the sky blue. And a little bit of water. Some of the leaves was a little bit stuck, but I just bent the paper and took them off. So it wasn't anything that was damaging the paper or so. It went well. Maybe we could add a little bit of green in the splatters. Just for making it, keeping it together, and give it some nice greenish tones. So let's try this, and then I will show you the result. So it's dry, and this is what we got. And you have this nice watercolor feeling in it, where we have this kind of small islands of watercolor that makes nice pattern. So that's nice, and you still have another side where it's different. So if you make a journal, you have another color. You can choose another color or leave it as it is. So one more thing, I did this one. I took the paper and I added some some gesso on the watercolor and tone it down a little bit so you get a lighter feeling in case you want to do something white and romantic maybe. And then I thought we could add a little bit of pink or pinkish. I think I want a soft pink so it gets this romantic feeling. And I'm going to clean off my purple. So we can keep it quite pinkish. And I want it diluted, so I'm adding water to my palette. Then I'm going for a quite bright pinkish. Can maybe even add some white if you want this kind of baby pink, girlish. And then I'm just going to add that around like this. Kind of like I did with the blue. And depending on what you have, what paper you have, you might need to add some water to get it to flow. You can use watercolor paper, of course, when you do the printing too. Then you can play a bit more. Then this is some ordinary drawing paper, so it's not as thin as copy paper. I think this might be 110 grams. And copy paper is 80 or 90 here in Sweden. So this is a little bit thicker and a little bit more shiny, so it's perfect to use for watercolor straight on. Doesn't soak up totally right away, so you still have a little bit of time to move it around to not get this sharp edges around it. And then if you want, you can leave it to dry a little bit and then take a piece of cloth or paper and dab it off, and you will get some other marks on it. Two different kind of pinks. One from Opera Rose, Winsor Newton, and Perfect Magenta from PVC. That way you get a little bit more romantic and pinkish feeling on them. So you can play so much more with your papers, and it's fun, and you don't need to cook anything on the stove. You can just put on some paint and watch a movie while it dries. Dabbing a little bit so it's not so sharp, but that's up to you. If you like it really pink, just leave it as it is. It always dries lighter than you think, but I just want this feeling of light pinkish tone. And now it's dry, and you can see the result. It will be more nice when it's flattened out and ironed, so we get it really sharp and straight. And then when you add it in your journal or some other background, you can of course sew on it. You can put on textile or other pieces of decoration paper and kind of put it on as a collage and do some other fun stuff with it. So I hope this gave you some inspiration, and you can go and play with your papers. There we have the blue one, and we have the brown one. And one without anything, still in frame with all my papers. So that was all for tonight. Have a nice weekend, and I will see you soon again. Bye bye from Sweden.